Alright, first installment of 04 kx100 top end disassembly. Take your pipe off, seat, plastics, and you're at the engine. And disassemble, take these hoses off for the radiator, right there too. And that should be it. Alright, next take off your radiator, and then take the motor mounts off. One right there, one right by the pipe inlet, one right there, and that's it. And alright, now you got your radiator off, hoses. I get the electricals off from the magneto. Here's this wire. Mark these two right here. That one goes up to the ground. Unhook that, and then unhook it from right there. Mark it with a pen is what I mean, unless you can remember the colors. Alright, since you took this motor mount here, down there, up there, right there off, with electricals off, take the chain and sprocket off, or chain, and detach the carb in some way, and should be able to pull the engine out. Now it sits on the table. Alright, now I got the engine. I got all the places taped off, plugged up, ready to clean it. Alright, now that you got it cleaned up and everything, put on a nice sturdy surface. I got a table. You got 5 head nuts holding it on, the head on. So take those off and just pull it right off, and you'll have 2 O-rings. And take those out and replace them if needed, which you probably will, and you can see what piston looks like. Alright people, got some bad news here. Look at that. Pretty sure the stud broke off in the cylinder, but I'm wrong about this. It actually has a gasket instead of 2 O-rings. As you can see, if you can, the edge of the crown on top of the piston, on the very edge, looks like a dog chewed it up. I mean, it's not even, this piston has been past this limit. And top that off, probably won't be able to see it, but the cylinder plating right there, see how it's right there, cylinder plating's wore off. Same for down. Alright, now you're gonna take this power valve cover off, take that off, unhook the linkage from the cylinder, take the 4 cylinder nuts off, and pull the cylinder off. Alright, I got the cylinder off, and as you can see, piston is pretty bad looking shape. There's the cylinder. Got some score marks. Plating's pretty daggum beat up. Chunk it. Nah, I'm just kidding. Ooh, there's some antifreeze. But yeah, here's the power valve system right here. Pull that out. Now these teeth line up, so you're gonna have to get that right when you reinstall it. Hey YouTube, alright, we went with buying an Oem Kawasaki standard size piston, circlips, rings, base gasket, head gasket, wrist pin bearing, and the wrist pin, and not least, whole new cylinder, standard size also. Nothing like a brand new cylinder come from Kawasaki. Alright everyone, here's the Oem piston. That B means back, so this is how it sets in the cylinder. Back faces the intake port, and of course you got these two holes in it where it loops the bearing in there. And let's see, here are specs right there, and here's my little thing, the top ring. Them are the specs for the ring gap. In between is 24. That's the spec. That's in the very middle of the spec range. We set at 23. And here's the bottom ring. That's the spec for the bottom. And as you can see, 16 was in the middle, so we set at 16. So we got the ring gap set right. Here's the power valve. It's pretty simple to install the power valve. To install the power valve, all you need is, we installed there's a little arm that goes in there, as you can see. There's a seal right in here. We put a new one of those in, slid the power valve arm in, put this piece right here on, got a little Allen head right there, little Allen bolt. But got this little pin right here, and that goes in here. So slide that in, and this just sets on top of this piece. So you just slide that on, and it moves this piece. When you get it fully set in the cylinder, it actually works. But it's kind of hard to show, but alright, so now I got the power valve in. All I did was take the assembly and slide it in, and as you can see now, when you got these two tabs sticking out, but when you put the cover on, it'll stay in. But you can grab the little arm right here and slide it back and forth, and it's got the flapper that's in the exhaust port, and that just opens and closes it a little bit. But that's how it moves back and forth. And basically this style power valve is very simple. See that right there? Now there's a rod that goes in between here, and it hooks up to that, which in turn moves that. So that's the power valve. You want to install it in the closed position. Alright, now for the power valve cover, or one of them. Alright, here's your front cover. Got my new O-ring on it. The bottom, of course, is right here. Top's up here. You got these two little indentions right here which hold and press against right there and right, those two right there, so the power valve don't come flying out. Alright, that's $10 freaking for a stupid O-ring. Anyway, here's the OEM. We ordered two, the other one hasn't came in, but just open this up. just put it on. Now these bolts, you don't want to tighten them down super tight. Just get them nice and snug. Of course you're going to have your other bolt in, but that's how the front cover goes on. Alright, now, let's see, you got to get the piston rings on, and then put your circlip in, and you'll notice how you need the two ends where the gap is for circlips. You want them opposite of that hole right there. And that hole is it's there so you can put your pliers, needle nose pliers in, and curve it around and stick it in there and push it. And you stick a sharp point up in there, wherever you want to use, and push the gap around to where it's like that. I know you probably can't see it good, but hopefully y'all know what I'm talking about. That's for so it won't try to come out. That you got your piston in, got your cylinder on, got your 4-cylinder nuts torqued down. The way I torqued them, I don't know how the factory does it. They got a special tool, but you can't get torque wrench into these tight spots. So I just crisscross torqued them down with a 12mm wrench and got them both snug down, and then torqued them down. Didn't over tighten them and didn't leave them too loose. So that's how I've always done it. Got the power valve cover on. This black rubber boot right here, you put that on before you put the cylinder on. I had to take the cylinder halfway off to get that back on because I forgot to put it on, but you put this rubber boot on while putting the cylinder on. For this, the head gasket, see that? That says up, and that's how it goes on like this on the head. Alright, now you're going to want to install your head. Alright, now that you got your head installed, torque them down, 18 foot-pounds. Got the reed cage installed. Got to tighten those bolts down though. But other than that, you're practically ready to install the engine. Okay, now put your engine in the frame. I got the motor mounts all bolted down. Got the carb hooked up. And I guess that's it. Got the electricals hooked up. I got spark. Just hook up the radiator, cooling system, hook all the hoses up, and go from there. Alright, now that you got your hoses on, radiator filled up and on, gas tank, got gas tank going to it, basically ready to start. Alright, I got the engine all situated, pipe on, gas tank hooked up, and hopefully everything goes alright for the first startup. Alright, this is going to be the first startup.